into my eyes.
That's cool.
Ooh, bacon.
Greetings, tasty morsels. It's Reverse BLT. Welcome to the channel. I am about to properly finish out the first season of the Sandman with the bonus episode, episode 11, which is an adaptation of two of the little short stories, I think, from the graphic novel, Dream of a Thousand Cats and Calliope. I'm pretty sure I remember the main gist of both of these. There are a couple of more stories that I hope get the same kind of treatment where we get to, see them brought to life in some fashion. One is the story of what happened between Dream and Nada. And there's another one involving a sort of like an Arabian Nights kind of thing that I really also want to see. It's very encouraging to me that they did something like this because it tells me that they'll probably do those other ones as well. I'm assuming that Dream of a Thousand Cats is pretty much exactly what it says in the tin. And Calliope, I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty sure that did involve the actual muse Calliope when it was done in the graphic novel, so I'm curious to see how they remix that. Calliope is, of course, also near and dear to my heart, the actual muse, because let's just say that there's a certain organization I belong to for whom Calliope is very important. She's essentially our, I guess you could say, our patron deity. So yeah, it was always cool to me to have this little bit here. But yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into it and see how they adapt these short stories.
Come on, darling. Come
Now, so this one's animated. I wonder, are both of the bonuses going to be animated?
litter.
No. Kitties are so adorable. And the 3 a.m. Zoomie's a little early.
It's tonight. Are you coming? Should be amusing, if nothing else.
You know all cats are telepathic, right? They can all talk to each other. It's alright, you're a cat. You're basically indestructible.
Good jump. You just have to work on the landing.
I want to hear what she has to say.
So do we all, child.
You guys ever see any of those videos where people hook up a camera to their cat just to see what they get up to? Those are really fascinating. We are Siamese, if you please.
That's racist.
I was not always as you see me today. Like you, I fooled myself. Oh, they fed me and gave me comfort. All they asked in return was my affection. No price at all, really.
But the call of the wild was too strong.
Why didn't you keep her inside?
I think they're kind of cute.
Cute.
They're
She's
adorable.
a purebred registered Blue Point. These are half-breeds. They're not worth anything.
Dude, oh my fucking god. Buddy, you better not be doing what I think you're doing.
What are you gonna do with them?
Don't worry. I'll take care of it.
You should not stay with a man like that. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. You're trash.
As the cold water took them, felt them
What do you not have
and
shelters?
claw sightlessly, felt them call to me in their fear, and then they were gone.
And look at her. She's probably relieved. Who'd want 4 screaming brats around?
You're probably right. I just feel guilty.
While we lived with humanity, we could not call ourselves free. And so, I prayed. I prayed to the darkness, to the night. I prayed to the King of Cats, he who walks amongst us, and we do not know him. And I dreamed.
If there is some sort of hell, there's a special place in it for people who abuse children, people who abuse animals, and people who abuse the sick and the elderly.
After a time, myself returned to me, and I found myself at the mountain. I have come to see the Cat of Dreams.
You recognize them from the castle?
Yep.
I've come too far to be turned away. I will state my business to the one I came to see, and only to him. I am a cat. I keep my own counsel.
I love cats.
Enter then.
I love dogs too. I'm not one of those people that takes a side in that particular battle.
Dreams have a price.
I love them both. They both are cuddly. But I think a lot of people are put off by the solitary independence of cats. But it's actually one of the things I admire most about them. A cat chooses to love you. They don't need to love you.
Why could they take my children from me? Why do we live as we do?
A cat may look at a king, or so they say. Look into my eyes, then, little sister. Look into my eyes.
That's cool. I love the way they play with imagery in the show.
Many, many seasons ago, cats truly ruled this world.
This is just how they saw themselves.
When the moon shone full, we would hunt them. They were more delightful to catch than even birds.
Dream of a new world. A world where we are no longer hunted, no longer prey. If enough of us dream it, it will happen. Dreams shape the world.
One night, enough of them dreamed. It wasn't many, 1,000 perhaps, no more.
You know who the voice reminds me of? B.B. Newworth.
Say, things change.
You know what your task must be, the burden you must bear. Are you strong enough?
Yes, I hope so.
Then wake, child, with my blessing.
He gave cats a spiteful dream to sustain them.
If enough of us dream, a bare 1,000, we can dream a world where no cat suffers, where no kittens die cold and alone, where all cats are queens and kings of creation.
You're taking it further than you need to, aren't you, Cat?
Mistress? I believe.
Then there is hope, child.
Your critical thinking faculties haven't developed, that's all.
Shun the non-believer.
Do you think it will happen? Like she said?
I'd like to see anyone, prophet, god, or king, persuade 1,000 cats to do anything at the same time.
Right? The phrase herding cats exists for a reason.
I think she's dreaming.
I wonder what cats dream about.
Dominion.
Isn't that cute?
It is.
Show
It's really
us
cute.
show us the dream of her playing with a yep. That was very well done.
Character.
Hey,
has
it's
to come first. Everything else follows.
the Centurion, the man who waited.
Do you have any advice for those of us who are just
Good
starting
old
out
Rory.
and finding it difficult to not hate every single thing I write?
You're a writer. That's not gonna happen.
I think it's admirable how far a writer like you will go when it comes to research.
Ah, well, it's handy to know a soon-to-be doctor.
I actually wanted to be a writer, but my parents insisted to have something to fall back on. I still write when I have time.
Your parents are very wise. You're better off.
Don't do that, dude. She's had enough people crush her dreams.
Would you sign this for me?
Of course.
Any idea when the new book is coming out?
He's got a serious case of writer's block.
Is it a sequel? Or something new?
That would be telling.
He has absolutely no idea. So when it comes to research, you'll hear people all the time say, write what you know. And I think a lot of people have mistaken that advice. They think that it means, you can only write about things that you've got a lot of personal experience in. That's not true. Research, if done properly and extensively, can substitute for direct knowledge.
I've got it.
Well then, come in, dear boy.
Hey, is that Jan Glenn? Or Ian Glenn? I'm never sure whether to call him Ian or Jan. But no, it can't be. He died years ago, didn't he? Or am I thinking of Ian Holm?
I suggest you sit down, have a drink, and show me my present. Not necessarily in that order.
No, wait, no. Okay, I am thinking of the wrong person, but I'm thinking of the right person face-wise, but I was thinking of the wrong actor. The actor I was thinking of, who I think is Ian Holm, he did die. This is the actor who played... So we got 2 Doctor Who alumni in the same scene. That's pretty cool.
Do you know about these? They're generally removed from the stomachs of young women.
It's from hair.
Who are in the habit of ingesting their own hair.
That's why it's shaped the way it is, because it fills up the whole stomach.
Edward IV survived the effects of a poison wound due solely to the possession of a bezoar. Yes, I see. I'm lecturing again. An old writer with no one to talk to grows fond of the sound of his own voice.
We have them going in our heads the whole time, so makes sense.
I discovered a trove of ancient texts about the Muses and how to control them. The hardest part was getting her back to England.
The Muses are, I'm pretty sure, considered to be under the direct, let's see, protection of, well, obviously Morpheus and also Apollo, I thought.
Close, but no.
So you're playing with some dangerous shit right now, my friend.
I'm giving you to Richard. You're his now.
But you said that you would free me before you died.
Put not your trust in princes, my dear, nor in an aging author who has never been what you might call a shining example when it came to keeping his word.
If she's no longer bound to you, she should be able to kill you, though, if she wants.
Writers are liars, my dear. Surely you realize that by now.
That is factual in a certain sense. I mean, our whole thing is, well, at least fiction writers, our whole thing is making shit up.
They say one ought to woo her kind. But I must say I found force most efficacious.
You're shit, dude. You know, the Furies usually go after people like you, so you're gonna regret it. Enslaving ancient magical beings and gods and such is a very, very bad idea. They're immortal and they have very long memories, and a lot of them, they have friends. Those friends will make absolutely sure that you pay.
I have a feeling this is foreshadowing.
You must set me free. You have only to say the words.
I will, I promise. Do you think you could help me first? Inspire me? Just for one book, and then I will let you go. I swear I will.
That's an oath.
Just one book.
Unless it requires certain ritual words to be spoken, or blood to be spilled in a certain way.
Please.
I choose with whom I share my gifts.
I'll have to, like, just for funsies, look up how Greek magical systems were supposed to work.
Perhaps we both need time to think.
Unfortunately, the pantheon that drives you doesn't have a ton of power these days, so I'm not even sure Zeus is still kicking about to help her. Now, of course, you guys know what I think in real life, so you know I don't believe that any of that stuff was ever really real, but, like, you know, I believe in facts, logic. The taunting of the blank white screen. Many a day have I stared at that thing. Man, it doesn't even have a title. Most of the time, titles come to me with the initial idea, which is always weird. It's like the beginning, middle, and end of a story all come at once to me most of the time with a title. And then it's just like basically trying to wrangle out what the heck happens in the middle points. Oh my god, he's like looking, he's going down the Reddit hole about his books. I like how they're showing us, you know, his search history too, though.
There's so much porn!
You trying to give her gifts of clothing and perfumes?
Is this not how it's done?
You woo the muses with gifts of creativity.
I think you know how it is done.
Of your mind.
An artist prays to the muses.
You gave Erasmus Fry what he wanted.
I did not. He took it from me.
I got the advance for this book 2 years ago. I haven't even started it yet. I don't even know what it's about. I'm drowning, Calliope.
There's usually a clause in most of those types of agreements that gives them the right to take the money back if it's after like a certain amount of time. 2 years seems really long.
When I am free.
Oh, that's nice. Like how they're punctuating that. Man, Gaiman, I can tell this is one that came straight from the freaking soul. Every writer knows this, except maybe Stephen King. And Brandon Sanderson. Those two just seem to have the ability to just let it pour out.
They want the book now.
You're technically in breach.
See? That's what it's talking about. Breach of contract.
They're going to cancel the deal and demand the advance back.
But
and there won't be
anything I can do, because you'll no longer be my client.
I mean, even if it were, it wouldn't be anything you could do.
It's not human.
Legally binding contract.
Thousands of years old. She was created for this.
And that was the moment you decided to become a monster. Set her free, dude. Set her free and then ask her for her help. I'm pretty sure she would gladly inspire you to write the single greatest book any human being has ever written if you set her free.
Calliope.
That sound conveyed a lot. Thing is, you wouldn't think that goddesses would be capable of being harmed by humans. I mean, they should be made out of different stuff, you know what I mean? And obviously they should be way stronger than us.
Only the endless never fade. And even they have been having a difficult time of late. Still, every little bit helps, as the old woman said when she pissed in the sea. The endless. There's a thought. After all, the Dream King and Calliope were close at one point. Not for long.
Ah, yes, I remember now.
Still, she did bear his cup. That boy child who went to
Orpheus.
Hades for his lady love and died in Thrace, torn apart for his sacrilege. He hates me for that, and I despise him.
Another endless you could probably reach out to who would actually listen, though the quality of the help you would get might be weird, would be Delirium. Possibly also Desire, but for them the price might just be too high.
Where does that voice come from in you? The female voice?
The goddess he keeps locked away that he beats the crap out of to make her inspire him?
The women in my life.
No, I need them to guarantee at the outset that cast and crew will be made up of at least 50% women and people of colour. And then we need to publicise it so they can't back out of it when it comes to hiring people.
This is the very definition of performative wokeness. Somebody who acts like he cares about all these things on the surface, but then in his private life is like, is the exact kind of monster that someone who's genuinely woke would be crusading against. Like we unfortunately keep learning about a lot of famous people.
Morpheus.
It is the name of the god of dreams.
You're writing him a letter.
Something like that.
Whence cometh the laws of magic?
It's all made up fiction!
You're mine. By law. The god of dreams can't save you.
Oh, my friend, my friend. Those are words you will come to regret. As you will come to regret this entire sorry affair.
I wouldn't even be a writer if it wasn't for having read people like Shirley Jackson and Margaret Atwood and Octavia E. Butler.
Having read Eagle Stones, the writer that came to mind was the late Erasmus Fry.
Oh. Sorry, did you say the late Erasmus Fry?
Being torn apart by Furies over and over again in some horrible realm as we speak, probably.
He actually poisoned himself. Apparently, the last thing he did was write a letter to his old publisher, begging them to bring one of his books back into print.
Here comes a candle, I suppose.
Set her free.
I know that you cannot free me. Only he can do that, but perhaps you might
encourage him a bit.
Inspire him? Let him go.
Whew.
I will do all that and more.
Tell you, out of all the endless, I think probably he's the worst one to be on the bad side of. To say he holds a grudge is an understatement.
You don't understand. I need her. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't be able to write. I wouldn't have ideas. Look,
I have money.
Hold your tongue.
Nah, you made him stand up. It's over. It's just like with Thanos. He gets out of the chair. You're fucked.
And you will not set her free because you need ideas. Well, if it's ideas you want, then you shall have them.
Oh, my friend. There is no plumb line long enough to measure the depth of how much you are fucked. It's not really what a plumb line is for, is it?
He was once my husband. And the father of my son.
I didn't know you had a son.
You know nothing about me.
You're not a mythology nerd, I guess.
It is too late to let any of that concern you now.
Yeah, dude, you fucked. Like hardcore fuck. Just let her go.
Ideas don't come from anywhere. They're all around us. All the time. I could write
That's actually true.
An entire novel
if you're watching people.
set at a book reading. Something had happened to the world outside, but the audience was safe as long as the author kept reading. Or the fraternity of critics in reality, dark brethren linked by profane rites and blood vows.
You've literally been cursed with too many ideas. I understand that. I literally have right next to me my notepads filled with ideas because I have them constantly. It's the writing them that's the hard part.
Wow, that is very interesting. Please tell me more.
Sorry. A were-goldfish who transforms into a wolf at full moon.
Were-goldfish. That's actually pretty funny.
What's happened to your hands?
Oh, God, I'm just having so many ideas. I didn't have
writing them down.
Or any paper, so I just used my hand. I said I needed the ideas, but they're coming too fast.
You need to get him to the hospital.
No, there is a woman in a room. She's locked up in there. Tell her that she can go. That I free her.
You just need to say the words. I mean, he said the words, so she should be free anyway. Just, I guess, maybe just needs someone to open the door for her.
It is over.
No, it isn't. Not for Rick.
What will you do now?
Try to make sure that this never happens to anyone else ever again. By inspiring humanity to want better for themselves and each other.
You go, Calliope.
By rewriting the laws by which I was held. Laws that were written long ago in which my sisters and I had no say.
Oh, you got a bigger message than I realized here.
Do you still hate me? For leaving you? For blaming you for what happened?
No. I have learned much in recent times, and no matter.
Personal growth!
I think you should release the mortal now.
Nada.
He has set me free.
Oh no, talking about Rick.
Never heal.
I'm not really sure Nada counts as mortal anymore. Maybe she never did. No, she did.
If that is what you wish, it shall be done.
Yeah, but what do you mean by that, though, Dream? There's lots of different ways he could free somebody.
How are you feeling?
I don't know anymore. I keep trying to think.
He freed him, all right.
So hard to think all of a sudden.
Jeez, did Morpheus curse me too? I have that problem as well. Especially when I try to write sometimes. It's like everything just leaves.
Stories. They were all hers.
Whose? Who are you talking about?
I have no idea.
There is a hole in your mind.
Thank you, Honored. Fortune be with you.
Goodbye, Calliope.
And I think they each have a constellation, if I'm right. But I could be wrong there.
You? No.
But I think that's generally what sort of happens is they just sort of like go into the sky to their constellation. They did a fantastic job with those too. Yeah, and there's the thing. It's official. More episodes are coming. A nice little way to cap off the season. Give us a little, I guess, parting gift for the folks who watched all the way through. And I love those. Those were, so I mean, I love the graphic novels just in general, but some of my favorite parts were the little asides where they'd take time to tell one of these little shorter self-contained stories. The dream of 1,000 cats was very charming, like the notion of like how if you want something badly enough, or if you get enough people to share a vision, that it can become what always was, even if it wasn't always that way. It's an idea that he plays with a lot, Neil Gaiman. Like he expresses it a lot in his stories where, that's just made me think of another little side story that I think should have taken place in this season, given the chronology of events, but hopefully we'll also get like a little thing in the next season. But this idea that deities and, adjacent beings gain their whole existence from belief. And so that like they kind of wax and wane with the amount of belief that they get. So like the number of people who believe in them, the intensity of that belief, and all that sort of thing. And also I think played a role in what happened with Calliope. It's like the gods who really could have helped her, a lot of them probably either don't exist anymore because no one believes in them, or are just too weak because so few people believe in them. At least, going by the logic that Gaiman uses for that. So yeah, it's really cool, and you can actually see why they decided to do these two together, because they did share kind of like that common theme of how of sort of like how our thoughts shape our reality, and how the powers wax and wane because of those thoughts. But anyway, let me know what you guys thought of the little special episode. Do you remember these short stories? And without spoiling anybody, let me know which short stories you're hoping for season 2. Anyway, I've had such a great time watching this whole series. I can't wait for season 2 to start. There are some things coming that I'm very excited for, and some things coming, of course, that I am going to be very saddened by, but they're a necessary part of the story. But the biggest thing I'm excited for is the key.
This means something.
You guys who know, you know. Anyway, guys, look forward to talking to you in the comments about it all. Use your spoiler tags if you are talking about stuff that hasn't happened yet in the show. And yeah, that's all. As always, do your best to stay safe and be well, and I'll see you for whatever comes next. Sweet dreams.
Ass liquor, dick face, shitballs, pussy asshole, ass cheeks. One time, my cousin and I touched wieners. Bathroom, bathroom.